This tutorial will show you how to create a campaign that can be used for an auction, fundraising, or to sell services and products. You can give your customers or supporters access to your campaign through a web link, QR code, or they can access it directly on your social media. Each campaign you create has its own custom donation or payment page that remains available for the duration of the campaign. Start by logging into your MobiPaid merchant portal. If you'd like to post your campaign on social media, you first need to connect your social media accounts to your MobiPay portal. You can do this by selecting your profile icon and then selecting Account Settings, and then selecting Connect Social Media. Select the social media accounts you would like to connect, follow the steps to ensure the selected accounts are connected, and be sure to give MobiPaid the requested permissions to ensure your campaign works properly. Once you've done this, you're ready to create your campaign. Return to the dashboard and select Create a Campaign. On the first screen, you can select the social media platform you would like to create your campaign on. If you would like to create a campaign without using your connected social media, you can choose only to create a web link. Note that no matter which option you choose, a QR code and a web link are created for each type of campaign. For this tutorial, I'll select to post to Facebook. Select a Facebook page you want to post the campaign to, then select an action button for your post. The action button will show on your campaign post as what you select here. Proceed to the next screen to set up your campaign. Type a reference number that will help you later identify all payments made to this campaign. Then select the type of campaign you'd like to set up. In any campaign, you can select to upload images or click No to disable any image. You upload images by initially clicking in the box that says Click to select file, and then navigating through your hard drive folders to locate the image you want to upload. Any subsequent images can be uploaded by clicking on the plus symbol underneath the thumbnail of the initial image and then repeating the process. Images can be removed anytime by clicking on the trash can symbol in the bottom right of the thumbnail, and images can be edited by clicking on the pencil symbol on the bottom left of the thumbnail. When the edit function is accessed, you can select an aspect ratio between 16:9, 4:3, 1:1, which is square, and 2:3. You can scale the image selection area by dragging the nodes on the frame, and you can also move the selection area around to select a specific part of the image. Next, you need to name the auction, and this is a required field. You can add a description for the auction, but this is optional. Lastly, there are 3 additional field types that let you fully customize your auction page. The product description field allows you to share additional information to be shown on the auction page below the description. The text box field lets you request any special instructions from the bidder into an editable field with a heading or field title. The title will appear in bold on the auction page, and the special instructions will appear as gray text that the bidder can write over in the field. The drop-down field allows bidders to choose from a list of items. For example, you might let them select between smoking or non-smoking for an event, or different sizes or colors for an item. Enter a header for the drop-down and then type the choices in the second field, separating each option with a comma. Click Forward to go to the next page. Here you can opt to have the user enter their shipping information if the item being auctioned is to be sent to them. You can also opt to have MobiPaid send an SMS receipt to them, as well as choose to have a receipt attached to the email they will receive after completing the transaction. You can choose if the auction should have a share button or not by toggling yes or no. You can also toggle yes or no to allow Apple Pay and Google Pay for the auction. Next, you will need to enter a minimum or starting bid and the bid increment amount. This is amount the auction bid will increase by every time some makes a bid on the current amount. Select a tax profile that is applicable or leave it blank and the time zone the auction is in. Next, set the start time with the date and time via the calendar time picker and an end time. Note that times are only available in hourly increments on the hour. You can choose whether the auction should be a blind auction. Selecting Yes will hide the highest bid from other participants, meaning bidders must place their bids without knowing if they currently have the highest bid. You can also set a Buy It Now price for the auction by toggling Buy Now to On and entering the price, such as €1,500. Specify the total quantity available before the sale ends. Finally, provide terms and conditions for the auction. This will display as a dialog box on the auction page. Click the arrow to move to the next page, review the details to ensure everything looks correct, and then click Submit. You'll be taken to the transaction log, and if you click on the auction campaign at the top of the log, you will be presented with a QR code and a payment link for your auction, which you can save and print for your event. Let's take a look at the auction page where the bidding happens. You can see the Buy It Now amount you set, as well as the starting price. To place a bid, participants will first need to fill in the additional information you opted to be required, such as color and title. Then they can click on Place Your Bid and will be prompted to create or log in to a MobiPaid wallet. Once they have logged in to their wallet, they can enter their bid amount. Bidders can decide whether to remain anonymous or not, and then click on Place Your Bid. A confirmation pop-up window will require them to confirm their bid. If bidders choose not to remain anonymous, their name and bid will appear in the bid history. Once your auction ends, it's time to notify the winner. From the dashboard, go to the transaction log and find the auction you created. Click the 3 dots in the Actions column, then select Bid History. This will show a list of all bids made. Find the highest bid, click the 3 dots in the Actions column again, and select Choose Winner. Configure your payment request on the next page, ensuring you select the correct message template for this auction. You'll be able to track this payment request in your payment history. Once payment is made, the auction can be closed. That's how easy it is to run an auction. There's no limit to how many you can set up, and there are no additional charges for creating them. If you need help along the way, please contact support by clicking the letter icon in your dashboard. In the case of a donation or sponsorship, the steps are the same as the auction, except instead of a starting bid and bidding increment, you can select if you want a fixed amount people should donate or if they can enter any amount they wish. Additionally, you can display a target amount you wish to reach with the campaign and toggle select whether or not you want to make donors visible or leave them anonymous. The description field is the description of the campaign or purpose of the donation, and the additional field options are the same as for auctions. Once you are done, you click on the Forward button to go to the Additional Settings page. On this page, in addition to the options in the auction campaign, you can select to have the donor enter their information for the purpose of capturing the data and not for shipping purposes. When you set the toggle to Yes, the Custom Fields pop-up window will appear, and you can choose which fields the donor can fill in and which of these are required by ticking the checkbox next to Required underneath each field, and then clicking Save. You can also select to have the payment be a recurring payment during the duration of the campaign, or leave it on No to have donations be single payments. Finally, the options for sharing, Apple and Google Pay, as well as the tax profile are the same as with the auctions campaign setup covered earlier in this video. Click the Forward button again to move to the confirmation page and check that all the information, amounts, and options are correct. Once you click Submit, a pop-up window will appear, confirming that your campaign post has been created, and you will be taken to the transaction log page. Here, you can click on the campaign title under the heading Payment Type, and a pop-up window will appear with your campaign QR code, as well as a long and short ULR for your campaign. Anyone who scans the QR code or clicks on the URL link will land on the donation campaign page where they can enter the amount, select the tick box to remain anonymous, and choose a payment method. Once they select a payment method, depending on the options you selected, they will be prompted to provide their information, and when they click Continue, they will be asked for their shipping address if that option was toggled to Yes. Finally, when they click Continue, they will be prompted to enter their card details in order to make the donation payment. Now let's look at the option of selling a product or service. When you sell a product, you can set an expiration date and time, or you can leave this field blank with no expiration. Next, you are required to enter a heading that will appear on your Facebook profile if you have chosen the Facebook post option. If you're posting to Facebook or LinkedIn, we recommend that you include an image to make your post more appealing. If you do not include an image in your campaign setup, the QR code will be displayed on your social media posts instead. The process for uploading images for your campaign is the same as with the auction and donations campaign, as outlined earlier in this video, and you can upload as many as 5 images that your customer can scroll through on the product campaign page. Once they have clicked on the campaign button on your social media post, scan the QR code or use the URL in their browser. Next, type in a name for your product. This displays on the campaign page and on the customer's receipt. Then, set the price for the products. You can limit the quantity to reflect the number of products in inventory. Once the inventory limit is reached, the payment link will expire. You can also add an optional SKU number if that applies to your product. The description field will appear on the merchant payment page as the description of the product. There are 3 additional field types again, as with the previous campaigns, which let you fully customize your campaign payment page and collect information from the customer as well as offer options related to the product order the customer can choose from. Once you are done, click on the Forward button to go to the Additional Settings page. This page has all the same options as with the donation campaign. Make your selections and click Forward to go to the next page. On the next screen, you can review the campaign and then click Submit. Now you'll be redirected automatically to the transaction log. Here, you can view the full details, grab the link, or grab the QR code. The Sell a Service option is exactly the same as the Sell a Product option, except that it doesn't have the product SKU number option. With that created, let's see what it looks like on your Facebook page. Here's the post you've created. Your customer clicks on the Action button, which you've chosen to be Buy Now, and here's our campaign page. We can see the product images we've uploaded, and are able to flip through them using the arrows on the left and right. We can see that we've asked the customer to select a shoe size before being able to continue to selecting the payment method. Next, your customer must enter their information, and after they click Continue, they will be required to enter their shipping information. Next, they will be taken to the payment page where they can enter their card details and finalize the payment. Let's go back to the portal. If you want to view the payments to this campaign in real time, you can view this on the Payment History page. That concludes this tutorial on how to set up an auction, donation, product, or service sales campaign. Remember, you can always use the user guide to refresh or read up more on using the portal, and as always, if you need help, please contact support at MobiPaid.com. Enjoy taking payment from anyone, anywhere, and anytime with MobiPaid.